The latest episode of Call Her Daddy features a lengthy interview with Oscar-winning actress Charlize
Call Her
Theron.
Daddy.
Entitled I Don't Need a Man. And in it, Miss Theron explains how she reacts to people criticising her for being a single mum.
I want to just look at them and just be like, do you know how fucking great it is to live exactly how I want to live, to experience motherhood exactly how I wanted to experience it? And I know the next thing they say is like, well, that's not fair on your kids. Can I tell you something? That will be their story to tell. I can't tell you. I can only tell you that this is the best way that I know how to be a mother to them. And maybe they'll grow up and tell their story, and I will respect that.
Damn, that sounds hella selfish, I'm not gonna lie. All she cares about is motherhood, not about the kids. Like, if you listen to what she said, she never mentioned like, I'm doing what's the best for the kids. She's literally just saying, well, I'm doing what's the best for me. And I'm sorry, single parent household, that's crazy. I know she's rich, she can afford it, right? She probably has nannies, so it's not really like single parent. Probably someone's raising her kids, like, let's be honest about it. But hey, like, it is proven that the father figure is crazy important for development of the kids. Just look at all of these broken families or single mothers. I know they're doing the best they can. I can't say anything bad about single mothers. But who really chooses to be single mother? If you choose to be single mother, you're doing something wrong. And here's why. It's proven that father figure is important for kids' development. And it's not only mental thing, it's also physiological thing. Like, the kid reacts differently when they're interacting with father and when they're interacting with mother, right? When they interact with mother, all of these good endorphins and everything, oxy, whatever, is releasing from like hugging, showing the love, right? Being close. With father, it's all about the play. Like, if father comes home, plays with the kid 15-20 minutes a day, it's so important for the development of the kid, because that's how they get all of that good emotional stuff, right? So by Charlize willingly taking the father figure out of the picture, first of all, she's negatively affecting development of the kid. And second of all, it's proven that if the father figure is not in the picture, it negatively affects the mental state as well of the kid. Like, there's higher probability of the kids to end up in prison doing something bad that they're not supposed to. Because look, mothers are the most important people for the kids. Most important humans for the kid. Like, there's no arguing about that. But we still have these roles, and it's not like, I know feminists would say, oh, that's how they did. No, it's not. It's biological. That's how we react with each other. That's like, mother is supposed to be the loving, caring person, and father is the one who's gonna set them straight in the line. And that's how kids react to the father as well. I'm not saying that mom can set the kid straight, but hey, you need to have both parents in the picture. And even if you're divorced, it's bad. My parents are divorced, and I was doing crazy shit when they divorced. But hey, my dad was still somehow in the picture. But if you willingly choose to raise your kid alone, just as a mother, it's not gonna be a good thing for the kid, definitely. And hey, is that the new feminism again? Oh, we're ladies, we can do all of that alone. Look, she's rich. She can take care of the kid alone. But what does it mean for her? Nannies. Eventually, when the kid is like 13, they're going to have their own house or something like that. But hey, she can afford it. It's not going to be good for the kid, but she can financially afford it. But what example does it set to all of the normal 9-to-5 working mothers when she's like, oh yeah, you can do it, it's definitely normal? No, it's not. it's almost impossible to be stay-at-home mom as well, because nowadays you need two incomes. And if you don't have two incomes, you still need a support from the father. Like, I'm sorry, I know, ladies, you're able to do everything alone. You're able to do crazy things for your kids. But wouldn't it be nice to have support? And even for the mental state of you as a mother? I don't know. I think like it's completely wrong to promote this, oh, you can be a single mom by choice. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's see what else we're gonna hear, because I did not expect this from Charlize Theron. I thought that she might be smart, but hearing all of this, like, yeah, do whatever you want in your own life, but don't promote it like it's the best thing ever.
Well, she also wanted audiences to know how liberating it is for her children not to have a father.
I love that I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy. I love that I don't have to, well, oh my God, co-parent. I fucking love that I don't have to do any of that stuff. And my children, we joke, listen, I think you can tell, like, this is how I raise my kids. Yeah. Like, right? We don't hide this shit.
So, yeah, you can see straight away that her children will have a hard time having relationships in the life, because relationship is about compromises, right? It's about working together as a team, supporting each other. And she's literally saying, well, I want to do everything on my own the way I want it. Well, that's not doable in a life. Okay, for her kids, maybe rich kids, right? But still. And hey, do you really think that if she had a husband or if she was in the relationship, she really needs to run it through the husband all the time? She's going to be the breadwinner. Like, she is the rich person, right? I doubt that she would, like, what would she even be talking about with her husband that he would have to decide? I don't know. It sounds ridiculous. And like, that's how life is set, right? Like, a relationship, you cooperate, you support each other, you compromise, and you're doing what's best for your family. So that's relationship-wise, and the kid should see it. If you want to raise a healthy, like mentally and physically healthy adult or kid, they need to see this. They need to have a good example, and she's not giving good example. I'm sorry, but no.
But don't worry, while Charlize doesn't think husband or father is important in life, she hasn't given up on men altogether.
Uh-oh.
I found this freedom in my 40s where I'm like, oh my God. So I just want to say this in perspective. I've probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life.
Okay.
But I did just recently fuck a 26-year-old, and it was really fucking amazing.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, and I've never done that. And I was like, oh, this is great. Okay.
Let me just say, that 26-year-old is the luckiest fucking man walking on this goddamn planet. He's walking different today, knowing, oh my God.
He for sure is not, but thank you.
No, he is.
I don't know. I just have it's personal thing, but I have an issue with girls talking like they're guys. Like, come on, put some class on it. You're not in a bar. You're not a guy being like, hey, I just fucked 26-year-old. That, I don't know, to me that doesn't suit to girls or women's. It's ridiculous. But hey, did you see that reaction? Like, they support each other. I wonder how would it be if, I don't know, let's say Piers said, hey, yesterday I fucked this 26-year-old girl. Think there would be something like hashtag Me Too or something like that. Who knows? Well, anyway, let's see what the panel has to say to that.
Well, the episode's been viewed by nearly 1 million people so far. Reaction's been divided between those who celebrate Charlize as, quote, a powerful badass, epitome of a strong woman fighting against the evil patriarchy, and others who, in equally strident language, view the whole episode as yet another example of modern feminist media denigrating the role of men at every given opportunity, all of which makes it a good starting point.
Before we start, how did Charlize Theron become famous? Do you think girls watched her? Do you think she would become this famous if it was content only for the girls? I'm sorry, girl. Your male viewers allowed for you to be successful. Well, I don't want to say allowed. That's a bad word. But they helped you to be successful. So, again, why are you going against the fans? And it reminds me, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, but like video games, right? When they're trying to push some agenda, it's like, you have certain fan base. Why are you going against that fan base? It's ridiculous. And the same thing here. Like, I'm sorry, girl. You're popular because you have a huge male fan base. And that's it. That's same thing why you were allowed to fuck 26-year-old guy. I mean, okay, girls have it kind of easier, right? But hey, you're rich, 40-year-old, good looking. I don't know what's to brag about that.
For a lively debate, well, joining me for this battle of the sexes, host of the Crucible podcast, Andrew Wilson, who I could imagine was visibly shuddering as he listened to those clips. Jedediah Byler, who's the host of the Jedediah Byler Show, commentator and author of the Case for Cancel Culture, Ernest Owens, and the editor of the User Mag newsletter, Taylor Lorenz. Well, welcome to all of you. And
let me guess. It's 2 libs and 2 conservatives. I know I'm gonna agree with Andrew for sure, but yeah, I can't wait to see what these 2 will say. That's gonna make me mad for sure.
Jedediah, welcome to you especially because you're making your uncensored debut. We always like debutantes. I'm always astonished.
Thank you very much, Piers.
Always astonished when people come back from more.
I don't know her.
But thank God they do. And thank God Andrew Wilson does. Andrew, your thoughts on Charlize Theron? She doesn't need a man.
Here we go.
She likes banging 26-year-olds when she feels like it. You don't need fathers in life. You just need a strong, badass woman.
Well, you know, it's really funny. The reason nobody cares, really, very much when a 40-year-old attractive woman has sex with some random young man is because it's not impressive. It's impressive when men can bang young women because most men can't bang young women, but most older women can bang young men. So it's just not an impressive accomplishment.
Especially
of course, these are the same women who will screech
girl.
because, Leonardo DiCaprio decides that he wants to change up. At 25 years old, any of the broads he has hanging around. But this is not an impressive accomplishment. All a woman needs to do to get laid is go somewhere where there's men and offer it up. It's not the case for men. So it's an unimpressive accomplishment on its face. As to the rest of what she said.
Let's just highlight one more thing. Like Leo DiCaprio, I agree that it's kind of weird. But it's not really one-night stands what he's doing, right? He keeps them around, gives them a good lifestyle, takes care of them. So comparing to Charlize Theron, like one-night stand, I think what Leo does is actually much better. And I don't know. And I don't think I'm thinking about it because I'm a guy, but hey, it's like he's not just using them, he's giving something back to them as well, right? What did Charlize do?
This is just normal tripe, right? Her kids are the ones who are going to get punished. They're always the ones who get punished. Yeah. We can look at the data for outcomes on children who are raised in single mother homes. It's not good. It's not good for their mental health. It's not. And by the way, the rates of abuse from having strange men around skyrocket. Terrible idea. And it's exactly the wrong kind of propaganda to be pushing.
All right, Taylor Lorenz, isn't it just a factual reality of life that women are predominantly happier with a man by their side and children are predominantly better off in life with a present father?
True.
I think, listen, children are better off in life when they have a loving household, and not all of those households have fathers. I mean, there are lesbian parents.
Yeah, she's liberal. That's okay. She's liberal. Oh my God. God, give me strength to listen to it. Oh, okay. Here we go.
There are, different types of arrangements.
Yeah.
I think it's important for kids to
Watch
have
this
different
one.
figures in their life who they can look up to. I think it's really important to expose kids to all different types of figures, but that doesn't have to be, like a man, a cisgender man that's standing around all the time. There's plenty of terrible
Cisgender man. You mean a guy? You mean a normal guy? Why do we need to put cisgender? Like, yes, I get that you want to put transgender when it wasn't born as a guy. But hey, the original term is male or man. Why do you need to change that?
fathers out there too. So I think it's great that the child is growing up in a loving household, and hopefully, she'll expose the child to lots of different types.
Yeah, but can you acknowledge?
No. Hold on. I don't think the kids are growing up in the loving household, because the mother, Charlize Theron, the way she presented herself was so selfish. It was all about motherhood, all about herself, that she's gonna do it the way she wants to, and nothing about the kids. She never said, I'm doing it for the kids, it's what's best for them, or at least what I think it's best for them. She never said it. She was literally like, well, they're gonna tell their story later, but she never said, I love them, I want the best for them. Like, come on, it's ridiculous. And like I said, she's rich, she's a movie star. Who do you think raises the kids? Nannies. I'm sorry. Nannies, tennis coaches, all of this. People she pays. That's it. It's literally like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like she bought a new car and drives it once in a while. Like, I'm sorry, I doubt that she's 24/7 present like every other single mother would be, right? Like, I bet she just moves the responsibility onto someone else. Because, yeah, like, you're a busy person and you're rich, so you can literally buy them new parents if you want.
Acknowledge that we have now been studying this phenomenon of single motherhood for years and years and years, and that the outcomes for children of single mothers tend to be terrible in comparison to the outcomes of children without them. Can you just acknowledge that that is true?
So I think what you're talking about are studies.
I'm asking a question. Don't run from the question. Yes or no? I want you to acknowledge with a yes or no, then a qualifier. Yes or no? Isn't it true that outcomes for children, when they're raised by single mothers, tend to be worse than those with a mother and a father in the house? Yes or no? Then give me your answer.
So I'd love to respond if you stop talking over me.
Go ahead.
Anyway, most single mothers are not Charlize Theron with millions and millions and millions of dollars. So when you look at studies like that, a lot of it has to do with the economic opportunities that a lot of single mothers have. Women make less than men as a whole. They're subject to more sexism and discrimination. So it can often be more challenging for them to raise a child alone.
So the answer is yes?
No, the answer is Charlize Theron.
It sounds like you just said that the answer is yes. The answer, according to you just now, is yes.
No, any single
and then you just
parent,
make excuses for it. You're like, yes,
Taylor,
but
this is
because
not
women are
right
oppressed.
now. This is so weird. You're like shouting
Taylor,
at me.
can I jump in here,
Do you
Piers?
know what it is?
Okay, let's bring. Hang on, time out. Let's bring in Jedediah.
Again, like I said it before, Charlize Theron has money, yes. Good. She doesn't face the financial struggles like other stay-at-home moms, but look, stay-at-home mom is doing it all for the kids. Like, she's trying to support family. She would die for the kids. Like, that's how they make it work. Like, you can literally feel the love. Yes, they don't spend as much time with the kids because they can't afford it. It's stressful and all of this, but there's no doubt that they love their kids. With Charlize Theron, having all of this money can literally buy 10 nannies. Well, if you live in Dubai, you can buy them, but I guess you can hire them over here. But yeah, like I'm sorry, I feel like you need to have some responsibility for the kids, and I don't really feel like Charlize Theron, based on that clip we saw, has that. Like, I have a hard time believing that she wants what's best for the kids, and she raises them on their own. And I don't know if my wife watches Kardashians, right? And that's one of the things I noticed over there straight away, like how often they are actually with the kids. The kids are always with the nannies. Like the kid is raised by the nanny. And they have partner in the life. They have fathers in the life. Like they didn't choose to be single mothers, right? But Charlize Theron chose to be single mother. She's presenting it like it's the best. And who knows how it really is. Like she didn't even talk about what's best for her kids. I don't know. I have hard times.
Taylor, this is not rocket science. First of all, you lost me at cis male. You
Oh,
just need
there
a
we
guy,
go.
just a man, right? We don't need all these terms.
She's
these
conservative.
nonsensical, ridiculous terms that modern leftists have come up with. It's just a man. Children do better when there is a mom and there is a dad, and the reason is that men and women are completely different. They bring very different things to the table, and children need the role model of a mom and a dad, not just people around. Sure, you can have aunts, you can have uncles, you can have friends, but we're talking about the two individuals that are raising children. And let me just ask you this question. Wait, I'm not done yet. You complained that Andrew interrupted you, and now you just interrupted me. I'm not done yet. Charlize Theron, you're right. She is rich. She has a ton of money. But what example do you think she's sending to young women everywhere that this is somehow empowering? That you should strive, by the way, you should strive to be the single mom because you don't have to deal with a guy. You don't have to answer to a man. Oh, isn't that so wonderful? And guess who'll pay the price? My kid, she even says, my kids can tell their story. How unbelievably selfish of her to say,
Here we go.
my children will one day to get to tell a story that they had no father because I decided that I just wanted to do this myself. Me, myself, and my money. Is that the message?
I wanted to go
should
hump
be sending to young
26-year-olds.
women?
They're lesbians. They shouldn't be able to raise children. You need a man. What about women that
We're
raise
not
children?
talking about Taylor. No one said what
Talking
should
about
be
single
allowed. I'm not
moms.
talking about.
Well, tell you what I
legal.
find strange. What I find strange is I know Charlize a bit when she was dating Sean Penn, and thought she was very nice, but she was always very elegant. If you interviewed her, her whole thing was high-end, elegant, all the highest-end advertising and so on. And then you see her there in this podcast, and she's like effing and blinding, talking about banging 26-year-olds. Very, very different, Ernest, to the Charlize Theron
No class
I
at all.
thought I knew. I'm not saying it's good, bad, or whatever, but I do wonder if it was a male movie star sitting on a sofa, brazenly boasting about banging 26-year-olds. How old is Charlize? 50. If a 50-year-old male star was boasting about banging 26-year-old girls, right, and he was boasting about not needing a woman in his life, not needing a mother, all these kind of things, but in reverse, I don't think you'd be approving of this, Ernest. Tax day has passed, but for millions of Americans, that's where the trouble begins. The IRS is now ramping up enforcement for those who missed the April deadline or still owe back taxes. Well, today's sponsor, Tax Network USA, can still help. If your books are a mess, if you're self-employed, or if you're a business owner, Tax Network USA specializes in cleaning up financial chaos and getting you back on track quickly. They say the IRS is applying enforcement pressure at levels they've never seen before. But even after the deadline, it's not too late to take control. The consultation is completely free. Acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, and surprise levies before they escalate. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/peers. That's tnusa.com/peers. Let Tax Network USA make the next move, not the IRS.
I mean, for starters, I'm all for if it's about consent and respect. They do it all the time. A lot of older men do it all the time on media, on social media, in interviews. It's not actually an uncommon thing. I think the reason why there's a lot of actual shock and awe over Charlize Theron because a lot of women actually her age don't feel the liberty to do that on a public facing platform. And so that's why we're talking about her. We don't talk about men who do it often on here because it's so norm. I mean, if you look at who's in politics currently right now, they were just doing it their entire career before they got to the White House. So it's not that much of a shock. You know, there's a guy who got elected
Oh my
president,
God.
And you screamed
said
bloody
crap
murder about it.
pussy and got elected. And so,
And you
but
screamed bloody
point
murder
is,
about it. What are you
Ernest, the
talking
point-
about?
Yeah,
Hang on. You liberals said that was the most horrible thing. He was a terrible
I didn't
role
say
model.
that.
How could he? And here's
You-
Charlize Theron
talking.
is saying this,
Here,
and you're like,
here,
she's
here.
an empowered
So
boss
I'm
babe,
opening-
Andrew. Come on.
See, if I talk over
Unreal.
him, Piers going to tell me to be quiet and get
You
my
were
time.
done talking, dude. You were
All of
done
this.
talking.
Come on,
No, I
Ernest.
wasn't done talking, actually. Can I actually
Oh
talk?
man.
You can, Ernest. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So, what I was getting at is that there is a double standard. And I think, honestly, like I
It
said
is.
before, I don't know what liberal he's talking about, but I was not a liberal that said that Trump talking about grab her by the pussy was the worst thing he ever said, because there's a lot of other things he has said that I believe is far worse and actually should cause more attention. But that being said, I just feel like the only reason why we're talking about it is because women like Charlize Theron often don't do this on a normal. So it feels abnormal, and that's why we're discussing it.
Okay,
Ernest,
Andrew.
you said-
Why do
Can I
these
ask-
libs talk out of both sides of their mouth? I mean, look at it. She refused to acknowledge the outcomes for single
I'm
moms.
not a
Pivots
lib.
immediately.
Let's be clear.
Hang on.
Let's be clear.
Immediately.
No,
Hang on.
no.
Immediately.
Do not call
No,
me
yeah.
a liberal.
Look, I'm sorry. If you have progressive
What is
talking
she
points,
then?
if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, I call it a duck. So the thing
Yep.
is, right? The libs on the panel very clearly, right? She evades the answer, refuses to give us the answer of if outcomes for children of single moms are worse, refuses, gives us a bunch of qualifiers proving that they are, still refuses to do it. He says, well, this is so commonplace for men. Look at the sexual deviant that we have in the White House, and says, but I'm not throwing a fit about that. I'm not throwing a fit about that, though. Yeah,
This is
they
so-
did.
Man, I don't know. I can't even remember when I heard some guy saying this on the TV or whatever, internet, right? Like, oh, yesterday I fucked this 26-year. I mean, like, we know about Leo, right? But did Leo actually went to some podcast and talk about it like this? Maybe some rappers, right? But kind of expect it from them. But I don't know about anyone who would go out and brag about it like this. That's ridiculous. And saying that, well, yeah, we're only mad because she said it publicly while the guys are doing it all the time. No, that's BS. Like, again, she's becoming such a bad role model after that podcast. I don't know what the podcast is. I was actually thinking about watching it, but then I'm like, oh, Andrew's on this? Okay, I'm gonna watch this.
No
An
fit about it.
ineffective discussion.
So
This man
let me
is just
start right here.
crying
I'm
over
sorry.
everyone. Like,
Yeah,
he's very
I know.
emotional
It's an ineffective
right
discussion. I would like you, I would just like you to actually answer the questions
Yeah.
I ask you. Why can't you people
Ernest,
ever
you
do
said,
that?
I have a
So this
question
is
for
not
Ernest.
this show anymore, I guess. Go ahead.
Ernest,
Sorry.
Ernest,
This is
you
not
said there
whose
was.
show- whose show
Hold
is
on a
it?
second, guys. Ernest, you said there was a double standard. What are you, in your view, where is the double standard? Because I
Yeah,
see
I
a double
wonder.
standard here, but I think we
Okay.
see a different double standard.
Cool. So what I was saying was the double standard reaction, right? There is a lot of reaction because of what Charlize Theron said. I'm saying that I understand where that is coming from, because we don't often see women like Charlize Theron on these platforms talking about their sexuality in this
But
way.
it's
at their
celebrated.
age.
Ernest, that's not true. But here's the difference.
I'm
Every
saying that
time
we're
a
not
man,
talking about
hold on a second. Every time a man says, a guy can't even say that he prefers younger women.
That's
He
true.
can't even
Yeah.
say, well, you know what? I prefer younger women because of their fertility is better, because they're in their peak attractiveness, because I want to have a a bunch of kids and it gives me more time, without getting
Yeah.
completely trashed.
If Brad,
The
if
difference
Brad
is
let's
that
be
when-
clear. Let's
hold
be
on a
clear.
second.
Hang on. Let's be clear. If Brad Pitt came out with an interview tomorrow on Uncensored, and I hope he does. If you're watching Brad, my show is always available to you. But if he was, and he said, "Do you know what? Just only last week, I had the most unbelievable sex with a hot 26-year-old." Right? Do you think the reaction, Ernest, would have been widespread applause for this guy, or would it have been, "You dirty old man"? No. I'm not saying that I feel that about Charlize Theron. I'm just saying that's the double standard, right?
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio gets mocked at every award show
men are
because he
subject to
dates
ageism.
women half his age.
Multiple. It's not like
Now
Charlize
it's
is doing multiple.
Charlize Theron.
You know what? I don't even think Brad Pitt would say it. Or definitely the way Piers put it sounded still better than the way Charlize Theron presented it. Like, saying that you fuck 26-year-old, how? That's not classy at all. That's not ladylike. You can still word it somehow better. And yeah, again, I can't really imagine Brad Pitt going on the show and saying it like this. I don't know. It's call me naive, but I still think that he would be more classy about it than Charlize Theron.
Everyone's like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Piers,
A man would have been called a
I
groomer.
can give you an example where that backfired. So let me be very clear. So let me give you a good example of this actually. First of all, it's if it's a pattern, right? Charlize Theron is not doing this on the regular. That's why this is a big news story.
Who
She's
cares?
been mostly in long-term relationships. She does not have a habit of doing this. Leonardo DiCaprio's entire a lot of his romantic history has been this pattern, which has become a running joke. The first couple years he did it, no one cared. But it's been decades, like over like
Ernest,
10
that's
years.
not why that's not why it's a news story. With respect,
That's your opinion.
First of all,
That's your opinion.
First of all, both of those things have been covered in the news. But the reason, what Pierce is getting at, I think, I don't want to put words in his mouth. This is being celebrated. Do you understand the difference? Modern feminism has made it so that we now celebrate that Charlize Theron. And by the way, I don't give a lick. Honestly, it's consensual. I don't care if she sleeps with a 26-year-old.
And by the way, there are a lot of
I don't
26-year-old
care.
men who will be absolutely thrilled that she's on the cougar
That's
market.
correct.
I mean,
Right.
there will be.
And I don't care either. We can agree there. But I'm smart enough to acknowledge that she is being celebrated for that action, whereas a Leonardo DiCaprio or the average guy for that matter, just saying, hey, I prefer a 22-year-old to a 32-year-old, will get destroyed in every possible
you know what?
media.
I actually have no problem with what she said about a 26-year-old. That's entirely down to her. She's a single woman. She can have sex with who the hell she likes if it's consenting an adult. I do though have a problem with.
Give me
Andrew
a
was-
second. Wait, did I go
And by
too
the way,
far?
there are a lot of
I don't
26-year-old men who will be absolutely thrilled that she's on the cougar
That's
market.
correct.
I mean,
Right.
there will be.
And I don't care either. We can agree there. But I'm smart enough to acknowledge that she
Let's
is
go.
being celebrated
Let's
for
go,
that
Pierce.
action, whereas a Leonardo DiCaprio or the average guy for that matter, just saying, hey, I prefer a 22-year-old to a 32-year-old, will get destroyed in every possible
you know what?
media.
I actually have no problem with what she said about a 26-year-old. That's entirely down to her. She's a single woman.
Did you see that? Did you see that middle finger? Oh, Piers. Yep. I think he has an issue. I don't know with 26-year-old, but definitely there is some issue.
She can have sex with who the hell she likes if it's consenting an adult. I do though have a problem with, and Andrew was, I think, right about this. In a way, what she's saying is all your quaint ideas about you need a bloke around, you need a father, you need a husband.
Yeah,
that's all
that's
bullshit.
ridiculous.
Look at me, I'm proof it's all great. I don't believe women when they say that. I don't believe men when they say the same thing. You know, I just think that actually the ideal is that you have a man and woman around kids and they bring them up together. And if that isn't possible and it
What
doesn't
about 'em?
work out, okay, you make it work. But to actually try and pretend this is actually utopia and this is the best possible thing for your kids, I don't think that's true. And I say,
Well, she'll pretty much have to pay for other people to be in that father role. Like, look, I used to play basketball in our yard with my dad. What is she gonna do? Well, she's gonna buy a basketball coach, right? Or hire a basketball coach. I used to go running with my dad to be in a good shape to play basketball. What is she gonna do? I mean, she can run with the kids, but probably she's gonna hire someone to do it for her, right? If she needs to do something around the house that she's not strong enough to do, because sometimes, yes, guys have a more strength than the girls, what is she gonna do? She's gonna hire someone to do it for her. So yes, it's nice for her to say that she doesn't need father or male figure in her life, but that's because she can buy it, and she's gonna end up buying like 10 male figures. How is it better than having a father figure that is actually blood related to the kids, so he's invested like relationship with the kids? I don't know, like the idea of normal family, like, you're not gonna beat that. And I know that this liberal chick, whatever she is, she lost me same way like this other lady mentioned. She lost me by saying cis male. What the fuck is that? But anyway, like, she mentioned lesbian couple. I'm sorry, that's not a traditional family. Like, the kid will be loved, I have no doubt about it, but there's a reason why two women cannot have biological kids, right? The same two guys can't have kids. Because you need both, you need a male and female to get pregnant, to create the kid. And the same thing about raising the kid, like, that's what's the best for the kid. Yes, I understand that some kids are up for adoption, unfortunately. And it's definitely better to be raised in the loving household than in the system. But hey, let's be honest about it. The best thing for the kid is traditional family, because that's how it was supposed to be. That's how God created us, that you need both parents, both genders in there together to do the best they can. I'm sorry, like, it is what it is. It's literally biologically, we were created like this.
That as a divorcee myself, I don't think this is ever actually the ideal, but you make it work as best you can.